Hallo my engel, kan jy my hoor? Hello everyone, gonna start shortly. So today is just gonna be some water changes, and I apologize if the live stream doesn't work out. This is my first time, so I'm still a bit new with this. So it's my first live stream, so be patient with me and allow me to learn. Sorry about the noise, it's the leaf blower outside. But we're gonna start shortly with some water changes. So the previous live stream I had like a few minutes ago, um, it just cancelled out of the blue and it stopped. So as I was saying, so the left top tank is with all our blue jelly shrimp in. So with our blue jelly shrimp, I'm gonna need some more time with filling up the water, because when the water is coming back too fast, it can basically shock your shrimp and can cause them to die. So it's the last thing we want with the blue jellies. So it's this tank here. Um, so yeah, we're gonna start shortly, and then you guys let me know. Do you want a closer video of each tank as I clean it, or do you want a video where it's back like this? So just let me know before I start. Do you guys want a closer video or a video a bit further back? Close up video. Okay. Um, Okay, so let's get started. So first up, I'm just quickly gonna plug out the heaters at the bottom where all the cables are hidden. Sorry. So we're just gonna wait about a minute just for the heaters to cool down a bit. Otherwise, when I drop the water level, the heaters might crack, and I don't want to replace another heater. So it's happened to me before. So just giving it a minute just to cool down a bit, and then we can start with cleaning the tanks, and then I'll move it closer. I'll move it closer so you guys can see as I'm cleaning. Okay. Let's just move it a bit back. So yeah, the nice thing about having aqua soil inside your tanks is you don't have to vacuum the soil itself. We'll just move some shrimps. There's actually no point in vacuuming the aqua soil. Okay, so then next up it's this tank. I like to do this tank a bit differently. Um, so with this tank we have a bit of duckweed growing at the top. So I like to scrape off just a bit of the duckweed just to keep it under control. Because if you own an aquarium with duckweed in, you know what a nuisance duckweed can be. Hi, Mr. Ruthless. I'm glad you made it. So my live stream today is basically just cleaning the breeding tanks. So it's basically just cleaning the breeding tanks a bit today because it needs a cleaning. I normally do it on a Friday evening, but I was a bit tired yesterday. So we're dropping just the water level about 40% on each tank. Yeah, so if you guys have duckweed in your tank, if you own a tank, and your duckweed is taking over, I have a video up. Actually, not a video, it's just a short. So in the short, I show you what to do with the excess amount of duckweed you have. So basically, you can turn it into like a type of jelly food for your fish, um, because plants have proteins, and duckweed is basically, it holds a lot of plant protein, so it's a really good food, um, basically a food alternative to what you normally feed. So yeah, here on the screen you can see Benny the Beta. So this is Benny the Beta. So next week I'm gonna look for a female beta, and we'll make a video on how to breed betas also. If you can just... So there's the thing, so I know a lot of people are scared of getting betas. So the thing is, with females you get a thing such as a sorority. So they call it a female beta sorority. So with the sorority, it's, you're basically housing just females. So I'm not saying you're gonna get away with it every single time, but with a tank full of females, you normally get away with it. But the moment you put a male inside of the tank, that's when the males start to kill each other. And the thing is, in the hobby, you get a lot of males because the males are more attractive. So in the fish hobby, you'll see basically every fish. Um, depends. There's certain fish that look the same, but 90% of the time, the males are a bit more attractive than the females. So in the hobby, people actually just sell males in the pet store or whatever, and not the females, because the males just have more color. They look better and everything. So so you can get away with it by keeping females with each other, but I would suggest to stick at just one male per tank. So next up is our, just take off this glass cover. So this is some blue lemon plecos. It's a male and a female. We got recently, so busy growing them out till they are decent size where you can start breeding with them, and we can then look at to start selling those also. So a bit of expansion. So yeah, like I previously mentioned, um, this is aqua swirl. So with aqua swirl, as long as you don't overstock your tanks, um, you can basically, you don't have to vacuum the sand ever or the substrate ever, because the aqua swirl breaks down any organic matter. So that's fish poo or whatever. What kind of fish is in that one? If you're talking about this tank I'm doing now, inside here is a blue eye lemon bristlenose pleco. So when I'm done draining water, I'll quickly see where I can see them and show you. Let's quickly see if we can see them. Um, so this is the blue eye lemon bristlenose plecos. So this is the female. This is the female sitting here. And can't see the male anywhere. So I'm just going to show you like this. So this is the breeding rack. So we have the bristlenose pleco tank here. This is also a new pair of bristlenoses we got. This is coal shrimp. This is L104 plecos. Then let me just put this cover back. So inside here is Benny the Bear. Is the grower tanks for the Longfin Aqua plecos, and then also the lamp-eye killifish pairs. And then inside this tank here is the blue jelly shrimp. And then the 4-foot planted tank is standing at, so me and my friend do this business together, so we breed fish for profit. So at his house there's a 4-foot tank. So actually don't know, so in 4-foot tank is around 250 liters. So I don't know what's that in gallons. Let me quickly just check for you. Okay, so 4-foot tanks is 52 gallons. So there's a planter tank that's standing at his house. So that's the planter tank. It's a 4-foot. So we have CO2 injection in there. So all of the plants we sell comes directly from that tank. And then he also has another 4-foot tank where all of our angelfish are growing up and the angelfish pairs are in. So that's basically the angelfish grow out tank, if I can say it like that. So in total it's 7, 8, 9. So it's 9 tanks in total that has water in and is being used. Then there's also 2 other tanks that's just basically so we call it a hospital tank. So if any fish gets sick or whatever, we place them in there, put some medication in, and we can just monitor them a bit more efficiently. Which look better than the fake stuff. Yeah, no. The real plants just look a lot better. There's no way around it. So I mean it's much more healthier also. So with this tank I'm gonna bring it a bit closer. I'm just gonna place this here so you guys can actually see how dirty this coal shrimp tank is. So inside here is also some Malaysian trumpet snails. So we're just gonna remove some of these plants. Makes it a lot easier to clean. I'm just gonna take out these terracotta pieces. So I place these terracotta pieces inside. When I add some dark night ramirezis inside the tank. And then, so this is the Malaysian trumpet snail. So they actually dig themselves into the sand or substrate or whatever. Wants to focus again. So yeah. Yeah, so this specific plant is called a Cryptocoryne spiralis. So with the Cryptocoryne spiralis, it actually needs CO2 injection to fully grow to its potential. So it can grow to around, we have one in the planter tank that's around 80 centimeters long. So looking at 35 to 37 inches long, so it gets quite big when you actually have the right care. But with this one, it was still a small one, so it's been growing for around 6 months now. But without CO2 injection, you can't see the real benefit or the real size and health of the plant, if I can state it that way. So yeah, this tank doesn't have any aqua soil in. So with this tank I have to vacuum the substrate. And if you are wondering, no, I'm not sucking up any of the shrimp that's inside the tank. They move quite fast, so so yes, I have to clean them once a week because the amount of fish that is actually inside the tanks. Um, so when you basically you get your display tanks. So your display tanks is a tank you clean once a month, maybe once every second month. So that's your display tanks. So it's normally it's full of plants and um, it has a hardscape and a substrate and basically an aquascape tank. So it's normally your display tanks, and you do not have a lot of fish inside. So the tank basically keeps itself clean. But um, with breeding tanks, it's basically you are 24/7 overstocking your tank because of the amount of baby fish you have and the food you give. So um, I'll show you now what food we feed for the baby fish and shrimps and whatever. So it's a very fine granule food. So that's why you have to clean it once a week. So the cleaner your tanks are, just the better your fish will grow. The more healthier they will be. So with breeding tanks, it's quite important to clean them regularly. Otherwise, you might end up killing your fish or stunting them. So, as I mentioned, this is the food we feed the baby fish. Um, it's extremely fine. So it gets all over in the tank and just messes up the tank a lot. So we have to clean it a bit. So the fish that are inside this tank is absolute pooping machines. Um, I think they poop more than they eat. Gold trout. Yeah, so the thing is, um, we don't normally we have trout here in South Africa, but not a lot. I mean, like we normally call them floral. Um, so you get your dedicated farms and whatever where you can go and catch your trout. But you normally pay per fish you actually take out. So it's not a common fish here in South Africa, but they're definitely. So yeah, the plecos inside this tank, it's called L104 pleco. So it's a clown pleco, and the scientific name is Panaculus macus. So basically, they are big herbivores. So they like the occasional protein source, but um, basically they are wood eaters. So that's why this tank has a lot of wood inside. So they normally eat the wood or scrape the wood off piece by piece. So they just poop a lot. Thank you, Mr. Ruthless. I need to start learning your name if you're gonna be a regular. Carder. So am I pronouncing it correctly if I say Carder or Carder or Carter? Okay, so Carder. It's quite a unique name. So my name is like a basically a lot of people in South Africa is called Johan, so my name is Johan. Um, it's a South African Afrikaans name. Like you're on, but all together. Um, so the easiest way I can describe it to you is like when you say Joe, um, like when you call somebody like people's name that is Joe. So in how can I say it? So English speaking people in South Africa they call me Johan. So it's like Joe and then the first three letters of hand. So it's Johan. Um, but if you're Afrikaans speaking, it's quite easy to say just Johan. So like you and then Han, like in Han Solo from Star Trek. Star Trek, Star Wars. So normally with this tank I actually sit down to clean it because it's really low to the floor. So in this tank is all about breeding pairs of plecos. So any sort of pleco is basically a pooping machine. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. A lot of new people that do not know the truth yet. Um, so the people that do not know, how can I say, a lot of detail, or is still a beginner in the hobby. They will hear people say, get a pleco to clean your tank, and that's not what a pleco does. I mean, a pleco poops more than I think any other fish in the hobby. So it's yes, they have their perks. I mean, like if you have brown algae on the glass or whatever, they'll clean it. They'll definitely clean it, but that's only brown algae. I've never seen a pleco eat green algae or hair algae. Never seen them do that. So they have their perks, but or even blackbeard algae. I've never seen a pleco even touch blackbeard algae. So it's certain things people have to learn. Um, so I mean, a pleco is definitely not for cleaning your tank. It's the last fish that will clean your tank. Um, Stuff is so relaxing, bro. I could fall asleep in seconds listening to the water. Yeah, no, it's quite a nice atmosphere in the evenings. So you hear the water in the evenings, or like the angelfish. You'll hear the angelfish during the night, where they're busy scrambling with each other because one got too close to the other one or whatever. Um, so it's nice, and I also feel like when your tank is looking good, there's not even a need for like a TV. I mean, yes, I have a TV. I watch my Netflix, my YouTube, whatever. I use my TV, but sometimes it's just a lot more relaxing sitting in front of a fish tank and looking at your fish, seeing how they behave. And for example, when you have breeding tanks, each tank is something different. Each tank is something unique. So when it comes to feeding, your tanks come to life. And I mean, it's for me, it's a lot better than watching TV. Completely agree. This stuff is beautiful. No, yes, it is. I mean, when you look after something, it's gonna bring you joy. So if you're not gonna look after something, it's not gonna bring you joy. You're not gonna enjoy it. You're not gonna take care of it. I mean, that's just how life works. And this hobby started out for me in, so this is 2024. It started out for me in 20. It started around at the end of 2021, early 2022. So I've been 2 years now in the hobby. Been doing the breeding fish for profit now for almost a year and a half, and I mean we're growing slowly but surely. So it's a process. I mean, it's a lot of work. I'm gonna be honest. It's a lot of work, and it also, to get started, it takes a lot of money. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it or anything. It takes a lot of money to start up. I mean, there is cheaper alternatives, but when you're looking at investing a lot of money, you want to get money back as soon as possible, and that's when it starts getting expensive. You should definitely get your tank up and running. There's not even a way around it. you should get your tank up and running. And after you've set up your tank, you're gonna say, "Thank you, I convinced you to do it." So when I'm going to be filling up tanks again, I'll show you the entire process. So I actually made this attachment that goes onto my pipes. It makes it a lot easier to fill up my tanks, rather than clamping it down on the tank, running to open it, running back to close it again. Because I'm not using a tap inside the house, I'm using a tap outside. Just quickly gonna check on the pipe outside, because I think it might be blocked again. Okay, so not blocked, just going out very slowly. So I actually want to show you guys. So when you order fish, so the thing is we're only shipping to South Africa at the moment. Definitely would be nice to ship overseas, but we'll get there. But basically when you buy fish from us at the moment, you get this little thank you card where your name is written down there. So with all of our details, and this is our barcode, QR code that you scan for our YouTube channel, and then inside is a sticker with our logo. So this sticker you can stick onto anything you want to. But yeah, this is basically what you get. You get your thank you card and then you get your sticker. So that's something we are doing now. It only came recently, so I mean when we get enough people that bought from us, we're gonna look at making a video with all of the people's stickers that they placed on their tanks or on their vehicle or whatever they decided to stick their sticker on. Um, we're looking at making a video around that. Okay, yeah, I think this is enough for this tank. Okay, so let me move it back again so I can show you guys how I fill the tank up, back up again. So it's an easy process, it doesn't take a lot of time or anything. So yeah, firstly, my water conditioner is CChem safe. I only use CChem safe for my water conditioner. So it removes all chlorine, chloramines and ammonia inside of your water. It basically makes it just safe for your fish. So yeah, I use CChem safe. So I'm gonna quickly get the attachment and I'll show you how the attachment looks. It makes filling up tanks a lot easier. So yeah, this is my hose, and this is the attachment. So just placed the tube over the attachment here, PVC pipe, just a control valve, and then 2 elbows, a blank off, and then I drilled the holes into the PVC pipe here. So basically place it like that inside the tank. Just turn the valve and it'll open. Just quickly gonna plug in the water. So gonna fill up the tank quickly. I'm over here looking up aquarium decorations. Well, the Titanic ship I want is only $20. So yeah, I mean, you can decorate each tank. You can decorate your own way. Because I mean, like each tank is different. You want it to feel like your tank. You want to be proud of it. So whatever you choose to put inside your tank, I mean, it's your choice. Um, so I love how each tank is different. They all have their own little story. It feels like. So yes. So every single tank of mine has, you can say it has their own story. So each tank has a different species inside of it. Um, and if it has the same species, it's a different color morph of that species. So this is basically just our breeding setup. So this is all of the breeding tanks. All of the fish breeding happens inside of these tanks. Um, but I'll go live again when I'm at my friend's house. Then I'll show you the grow out tanks, the planter tank, and all of that. So I'll show you guys a bit more of that. So just gonna open it. So the tanks are gonna be starting to fill up back. Um, and then after we put in our water conditioner and all of our fertilizers and whatever we have to put inside of our tank. So I don't normally use fertilizers. It's just like a certain tank has, or I know some people call it black brush algae. So for that I use liquid carbon. I use liquid carbon from Scape. This to get rid of all, and then for all of the shrimp tanks, all the tanks that have shrimp in, I'm using, so this is morelenite clay. So this clay basically just helps all of the shrimp like molt easier, because shrimp molt as they grow. So it just helps the shrimp with the molting process. So we don't lose a lot of shrimp when we add this type of clay inside of the tank. But I'll show you guys exactly how to use this clay. Um, fill this tank up to the brim by accident, as you can see. I'm just quickly gonna drain. There we go. So when we add our CChem safe water conditioner, so I use this fish food. So I use this. So this is basically a very concentrated powder that eliminates all. Basically, it just removes chlorine, chloramines, and ammonia, so makes the tap water safe for fish. I'm just gonna add this tank also here. So yeah, when everything is filled up, I'll move the camera back a bit, and then I'll answer some questions or any questions anyone might have about fish breeding or the setup or whatever. So, just filling up the tank, so I'll answer some questions, or you can ask me while I'm busy doing it. I'll just get back and read through it and then answer you. So yeah, this week we're gonna find Benny the Better a lady. So that should be fun. So just gonna add our sequence safe again. So I know, like in America, you guys have like a Home Depot or whatever. So in South Africa, we have a builder's warehouse. So I went to Builders and I cut these glass tops for the tank so the water doesn't evaporate as quickly, because it's a nuisance to fill up the tank every single day because of the water that evaporates. So yeah, we're busy with a project, um, breeding the L104 plecos. That's the tank that is filling up now with the blue pipe. So it's a process, but we've had them for now about a year and a half. I know they take 2 years to mature. Um, so in last year December, they they had eggs, but we were too late to notice again. But I mean, that's what fish breeding is about. I mean, when you don't succeed, you you try. I mean, that's the best you can do. Just keep on trying. Because we've had a bunch of previous stuff, um, and we've tried it. We thought there was a market for them. We've tried them. We bred them, and it came to the size where we can actually start to sell them. They didn't sell. So yes, we ended up making a profit, but not the profit we thought we were gonna have. So and that's just part of the hobby. So as time goes on, I'd like to get another breeding rack exactly like this one, exactly the same setup. Um, so then it would be 14 tanks in total. And then just another interesting fact. So as you can see with the lid here, this side is completely blocked out of light. So with the L104 plecos, they like a really dark tank. So I basically stick that sheet on top of the glass, and then also yeah, between the glass there's also sheeting just to just to block out some of that light. So I mean they like a dark tank, so try to recreate their natural habitat as close as possible. So yeah, the bottom tank's almost filled up. And then when we are finished with filling up the tanks, I'll show you what to do. So I'm just gonna add some escape liquid carbon for the blackbeard algae and then some montmorillonite clay for the shrimps, just to help the shrimps mold a bit. So the bottom tank's almost filled up, so then we can start putting in some montmorillonite clay and then the liquid carbon from scape. And then we can just sit back and watch the tanks a bit. And I'll answer any questions you guys have. So welcome everyone. Almost finished with filling up the tanks back with water. So almost finished with the water change. I think this tank is about ready. So then again, we're gonna add our water conditioner, Seachem Safe. So in my opinion, this is the best water conditioner there is. So I wouldn't suggest getting anything else. I mean, Seachem Safe is the best water conditioner. So I'd recommend sticking to it. You get the liquid version also. So this is the more concentrated powder version. So you get the liquid version also. It's called Seachem Prime. So yeah, let's quickly add the escape liquid carbon. So this is just basically liquid carbon is just an essential, how can I say, thing for plants. It just helps them the photosynthesis process and with their growth. So I use liquid carbon for my plants, and then I also use liquid carbon for any blackbeard algae or black brush algae. So with liquid carbon, it is, as you can see here, so it's all plants for photosynthesis and growth. By using Scape liquid carbon at the recommended dosage, you'll be adding carbon to the aquarium in the quantities required by aquarium plants. This product has the added benefit of being an algicide. So that's the important part there. It's also an algicide. So it is important to remember that as your plants grow, they will need more carbon. So basically I use this to attack the black brush algae or blackbeard algae. And also it just benefits the plants. So with this, it is just 1 pump or 1 milliliter for every, let's see, As you can see, approximately 1 milliliter for every 50 liters of water. So when it comes to liters, 50 liters is around 10 gallons. So Okay, I'm back. Awesome. So yeah, basically I just wiped off the glass now. I use my own mixture here, green algae and lime scale remover. So it just moves all that stubborn um, water stains off of the glass. So just my own bottle, and then now I'm gonna be adding some of the liquid carbon. So I'm gonna spot those where I have blackbeard algae. So this is quite a useful syringe with a really long needle. Um, so I normally adjust it to the amount of milliliters that is allowed inside of a tank before you start to overdose it. Um, so yeah, with this tank, don't know if you guys will see, or hopefully you can. Um, so I just place it to the correct measurement of 1 milliliter, and then I stick the needle into where I have blackbeard algae, and then I just squirt the liquid carbon in there, and it will actually eventually start to turn red as it's dying. So I mean it's blackbeard algae, but as it dies it turns red. So yeah, this is basically what I do once a week. I normally do it on a Friday evening. Uh, Carter, can you hear me? I don't know if my audio is coming through or not. I hope it is. because I just started a new poll um, just to see if everyone can hear me and if my audio is coming through. Hopefully my audio does come through. So yeah, okay, perfect. I see there's one vote. It says they can hear me, so that's awesome. Um, okay, awesome. Didn't know if my audio was gone or not. Oh, thank you. um, I don't know if the music is too loud or you can hear it or whatever. But yeah, this is copyright free music, so can't get any strikes or anything from this music. Um, yeah, I have a passion for the hobby, so I take care of what I have, and also the thing is, this brings in extra money for me monthly. So if I do not take care of it, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna get my money, and all of it's just gonna be a waste. Okay, the music is perfect, not too loud. Okay, invite it. Okay, awesome. Just as long as it isn't like too loud where it starts getting irritating or starting to annoy someone. So yeah, if you would like a video of the 4-foot tanks, um, like the planter tank and the angel tank, you can definitely do that. It's not going to be in this live, but yeah, no, definitely. I'm not going to show my pew-pews. I don't want anything happening to me. I'll definitely be open to that. Um, just can't show them on social media because I don't want to strike. Oh, and something interesting that I've read about, like the community policies with the firearms and whatever. So your your first strike that you got from like your community guidelines or whatever. So in 90 days it would disappear from your record, as if I can say it like that. So basically it will disappear from your record. So after 90 days, if you do not do the same thing you did to get your violation or your first strike, it will be removed after 90 days. Um, so that's just something I read. I actually read through it now just before I started the live. I read through the community guidelines and the policies and all of that. So for 90 days you do not have to show your pew-pews, and then it will disappear. The first strike will disappear. So yes, after 90 days of you receiving your first strike, you will your record will basically be clean again. So you won't have any strikes or whatever. So basically, don't show your pew-pews for another 90 days. That's just all you have to do. So in other words, you can show your guns after basically every 4 months, and you are only allowed 3, right? Yes. So you are only allowed 3 strikes before your channel gets deleted by YouTube. So you only get 3 strikes before your channel gets deleted by YouTube. But with your first strike, it will disappear after 90 days of you getting the violation. Shit, I'm not showing them things at all. Rather safe than sorry. I mean, that's a motto we can all live by. Rather safe than sorry. Just don't get how some people have fun review channels and not get a strike. Yeah, that's a weird thing. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm still trying to figure that out because some of the policies they do not make sense. Because I mean, for starters, when you are posting shorts or whatever, you can use any music you want to. I mean, you can play a song of the new up and coming artist. It's copyrighted, everything. You can use that audio, but say for example you're posting a video or you are doing a live or whatever, you can't have any music on unless it's like this music that's playing now. It's non-copyrighted music. It's the first time I went live. I put it was for kids, but it wouldn't let me use chat when I did it. Also, I think I know you get like your normal YouTube and then you get YouTube Kids. So I know like when you post anything and you say it's made for kids, that video can't get comments or whatever, so no reaction or whatever. So I think it's basically just YouTube's way of safeguarding children. Exactly. When you make a short, you can use any song you want to, but when you are making videos, you can't use a song. When you're doing a live, you can't use a song. I mean, for me it's stupid. It's because I mean, what's the difference between you playing a snippet of a song on a short and playing the entire song on your channel or your live or whatever? I mean, if you give credits to the person that made the music, I don't see why you should have any problem with it. So no, it's extremely stupid for me. I just don't understand why. That's the whole thing. Like I've searched for it and I still can't get an answer on why it is that way. Is there any tank in particular you want to see, like more close up or in depth or whatever? Just tell me which tank. You have these other channels who do music reviews and listen to the whole song and video. They aren't getting banned. Exactly. I don't know why. I mean, if you give credits to a person that made the song or published it or whatever, I mean, I don't understand it. So I don't know if there's a way of getting special permission to do it or what happens, but I mean, nothing we can change about it. So the top right barracuda color is so damn beautiful. Um, barracuda. Oh, you're talking about the beta. Let's go a bit closer. So I named the beta Benny. He's coming out of his tunnel. Don't know why he likes the tunnel so much, but I mean, whatever keeps my fish happy. Yeah, Benny the Beta. So this is Benny the Beta. So in this week, me and my girlfriend are going to look for a female. So then we can maybe start breeding betas. So I don't know the specific color morph of this beta, but I know it's a crown tail. So it also has a lot of personality. I think a barracuda would eat this tiny fish in one bite. Probably like 3 or 4 of them in a single bite. But also, I mean, I don't judge when people say something wrong. I mean, we're all here to learn. Yes, I'm breeding fish. I do it for profit, and I know a thing or two about it. But to this day, I'm still learning. I mean, you're never finished learning about this hobby. Looks like a small tree. It's awesome. So it's actually, I can show you. Just get my tweezers. So this is my aquascaping tweezers. So that's when I place plants into the substrate. So this plant is actually a type of moss. It's a type of aquarium moss. So it's a type of aquarium moss you get. It's called subwassertang moss. So it's a piece of wood I had, and I just used the wood basically as a tree and placing the subwassertang moss onto the wood. Yeah, so that was actually the idea. The idea was actually giving it a like a bonsai feel, like a small tree, like a bonsai. So that was the idea when it came to this. So I mean, I'm quite happy with the outcome, because I mean, when you're standing inside of a pet shop, you have this idea inside of your head, and you're seeing all of these things, and you're thinking, okay, how am I gonna make this look like what I have in mind? So nailed that shit though. Thank you. Um, so yeah, this is the beta thing. I actually had the German blue Ramirezis inside of this tank, um, but they didn't want to breed for me in this tank, so I moved them over to the bottom tank that's a bit bigger. So I mean, also something a bit interesting is if we go over to this, tank, um, I'm gonna put some food in. So this is the food I actually use. So I'll just take a piece of food here. Just place it down there. So that one big tank made into 3 smaller ones. So no, it's actually 3 separate tanks. I'll show you now again. So it's actually, this is just my tools hanging here. So this is the actual tank size, but I used it and I placed it like this. So you'll actually see it's different tanks. And then I had the bottom one specifically made so it's the same as 3 tanks next to each other. So the shrimp are gonna start finding it, and you'll see them. They just swarm onto the food. Thank you. So before the setup was actually made, I made drawings. So I made drawings of what I envisioned, and um, I actually went and searched for a guy that made like tanks and what kind of crap are they? I don't understand. Uh, so this is a blue jelly shrimp. So this is actually a Neocaridina shrimp, and the specific color is a blue jelly. So it's basically a dwarf shrimp. Yeah, it's a shrimp. So it's a dwarf shrimp. They only grow about 2 centimeters, so 2.5 centimeters. So that's around 1 inch. So only that's the biggest they'll get is about 1 inch. So if you're planning on getting them as a staple food, it wouldn't work. Um, in this tank, animation, we're looking at around 70 to 80 of them. So it's quite a lot. Um, they'll just go around the tank and literally keep on with their small hands, just picking on everything as they eat. So as they start finding the food, they'll just swarm in. There's also some baby plecos, baby Bersonas plecos. They should come out anytime. So like I know they absolutely love this plant. So they sit on this plant and just eat every single thing that's sticking to that plant or that sits on top of the plant or whatever. So I know they love that plant. But yeah, I'll come back to that tank as soon as there's a bit more. Um, so with this tank, we have a bit of, as you can see there on the glass, So that's the baby Bersonases, and then here at the top, you can see the lamp-eye killifish parents. Um, But let's put in some food and see if they'll come closer. I want a small pond in my yard with koi fish. Koi fish are absolutely lovely. The only thing is, with koi fish you actually need space. Um, that's the only thing negative I have to say about them. That and they eat a lot. So, but I mean, if you can make a stable environment for them where they can basically feed themselves, I mean, by all means do it. How deep do you think I'd have to make it? Um, so I would say about 1.5 meters. I don't know in what units you guys work with. 1.5 meters. I think it might be. Uh, Feet. Okay. So I just googled and it's 60 inches. So basically 5 foot. I think 5 foot would be more than enough space for your koi. Because I mean, you can make it shallow. I'm gonna be honest. You can make it shallow. You can make it 2 foot, 2 foot deep. But when you are looking at creating that healthy environment, I would suggest 5 foot. Because as you know, water gets warm at the top and a bit colder how deeper it gets. So I mean, when a fish gets cold, they're going to be at the top, and when a fish gets warm, they would dive deeper to actually cool down. So you give them that option rather than staying in shallow water and they are just burning up. Okay, we have the equipment to dig it as deep and wide as it needs to be. My wife's been wanting me to build one, so that might be the next project I work on. Yeah, definitely. And also make it a video. Make it a video. So document every step of the way, how you do it. I mean, everybody's searching these days on YouTube or on Google or whatever platform they are searching on. They are looking at how to do things themselves. Because everybody wants something for as little money as possible. I mean, that's just how humans work. So if somebody can build something, and they can build something for cheaper, they're definitely going to do it that way, rather than paying someone else and that person builds it for them, but they are asking a massive price tag. So you're right, I definitely wouldn't pay someone when I'm perfectly able to do it myself. It ain't gotta be perfect, that's what makes it unique. Exactly. I mean, um, like, for example, the fish tanks. I've never built one before. I've never built one before, and when it comes to this type of stuff, I would rather let somebody that knows what they're doing build it. I would rather let them build it rather than me trying to build it and stuffing it up and wasting material. So everything else I done myself. It's just the tanks I had it made because I don't know how. I'm gonna be honest, or I know how in my mind exactly how to do it. I've watched the videos or whatever, but I don't want to stuff it up. So for me, I made I let somebody make the tanks, but the stand and the wiring and all of the lights or everything I did because I'm able to. And I mean, it's not perfect. I used cheap lights. I didn't use expensive aquarium lights or whatever. Um, I used what I could afford at the time, so I made the best of what I had. but I'm gonna go now. Um, Probably stream again tomorrow or during the week. So thank you for watching, Carter. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your support. Um, Definitely might live stream a bit more, showing you the process, or doing a quick live stream of a feeding and what I do exactly when I feed all of the fish. And we'll definitely do the live stream about the 4-foot tanks, um, about the 50-gallon tanks. Um, so yeah, that tank is quite a masterpiece, um, if I have to say so myself. But yeah, it's full of plants. I mean, every single space available in that tank has a plant inside. So definitely gonna go live when I show that tank again. So yeah, but thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll subscribe so I get notifications when you ever go live. Coming to pop in and hang out. Thank you so much, Carter. I really appreciate it. I'll do the same when you go live. I'll pop in, even if I only have to pop in for like 10 seconds just to say hi. I'll be there. So thanks again. I really appreciate it. And then just one last question. Um, I know this is gonna sound extremely stupid, but this is my first time live streaming. But how do I end a live? I mean, I'm sitting here now looking for where to end it, but I don't know where. Is it the top left button with a cross on, like an X? Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Carter. See you again.